Well, good morning. Welcome, everyone. I'm Lisa Johnson-Billy. I'm a citizen of the Chickasaw Nation. I'm also a former member of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, and I stand here among the leaders of the largest 5 tribes in the state of Oklahoma: the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Seminole, the Mvskoke. Who did I leave out? I'm sorry, Chief Benton, and the Choctaw Nation. Collectively, we represent 800,000 tribal citizens in the state of Oklahoma. Economically, we represent about $15 billion of economic energy moving across the state of Oklahoma throughout businesses, our schools, the environment, tribal health, law enforcement, among many others. I'm excited today that you've joined us. Each tribal leader this morning has a very important reason as to why we are endorsing the 29th gubernatorial candidate for the state of Oklahoma, for our governor. This morning, we're excited to share this important news with you. We thank you for being here, so we're going to get this started. We're going to begin with the Chief of the Cherokee Nation, Chuck Hoskin Jr. We will continue to proceed with each tribal leader, Governor Bill Anatubby. We will then move to Chief Batten, Chief Hill, and Chief Johnson. We'll begin with Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. of the Cherokee Nation.
Triple Diamond Construction helps you before and after the storm, assessing the damage
that is not just consequential for the next 4 years, although the next 4 years are critical. This gubernatorial election is consequential for the next generation. The outcome of this election will affect, for good or ill, how Oklahoma looks, again, not just over the next 4 years, but for the next generation. We are in a position in this state with 39 federally recognized tribes, with a state that has leadership capable of working with the tribes. If we have leadership capable of working with the tribes, there is no limit to what the state of Oklahoma can do. In no area is that more apparent than the area of public education. The tribes represented here, and I certainly can speak for the Cherokee Nation, are a living testament to what it means to invest in education. I mean, after our forced removal, the Cherokee people put most of their resources behind education. We formed a system of public education in what would later become the state of Oklahoma. We formed a system of higher education, most notably exemplified by the success of the females' seminary, the first institution of higher learning for any woman of any race west of the Mississippi. We continue to invest in education. The state of Oklahoma cannot afford to squander opportunities to invest in what is the best investment for the future. And who do we look to for leadership in the next 4 years? Well, it's Joy Hofmeister. I mean, not only is she a dedicated education professional, not only has she led this state in its education efforts in her current position, she also understands that very Cherokee idea of working together, what we would say in Cherokee as gadugi. And when it comes to public education, when it comes to harnessing the resources of this great state, whether it's the talent among the teachers or those who would become teachers, whether it's the resources to fund education, whether it is getting behind education policy that works, she is ready, willing, and able, and has been tested in all of those arenas. Whether this state achieves its potential, whether we become a state that is top among states, will depend on whether we focus on investing in education in the next 4 years. And there's only one candidate who has the experience and the ability and the track record to do that. And so when I think about what kind of state this can be, not only in the next 4 years, but for the next generation, I know that it depends on whether we invest in the young people coming up, whether we invest in the workforce that needs to be trained, whether we invest in higher education, whether we make sure that schools, whether they're rural schools or urban schools, have the resources they need so that every kid in the state of Oklahoma has a chance to succeed. And that's what we want at the Cherokee Nation. That's what I want as chief of the Cherokee Nation. And as a lifelong resident of this great state, that is what I want as an Oklahoman. And so without hesitation, I am so proud to endorse Joy Hofmeister. Her track record on education is incredible. But more important than that, she has demonstrated a willingness to work with the tribes. She has demonstrated an eagerness to learn what we can do together as tribes and as a state. That is what we need in this state. We need Joy Hofmeister to be the next governor. What else?
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here this morning to allow us the opportunity to share with you what we think about this governor's race and who we support. I join Chief Hoskin in his remarks having to do with education. But I think we all have other concerns, other issues that we must address. I believe that Joy Hofmeister is the best candidate for governor of the state of Oklahoma. I think her abilities have shown very, very brightly in her work with the Department of Education and with the education of Oklahoma, just as Chief Hoskin has suggested. But I also believe that Joy has an open mind, and she sees all the other issues that Oklahomans believe to be important as well. I believe that she will put the people of Oklahoma first. It's been made clear that our government in the state of Oklahoma is quite partisan. And I believe that parties obviously are important, but what is most important to the people of Oklahoma are the people and the needs of the people of Oklahoma. Healthcare is a very important issue for me. We run a pretty vast healthcare system in south central Oklahoma. And our people and the people of Oklahoma deserve the best when it comes to healthcare. In the last few years, we've seen healthcare be made partisan, healthcare be made political. Healthcare is not political. Healthcare is a need. And it's better that this need be fulfilled by the people who live in Oklahoma, not by someone from the outside. And I have a statement, I believe, that was released not too long ago. She understands the importance of keeping control of government programs close to those we serve. She will work to ensure Oklahoma's retained control of Sooner Care, which has helped hundreds of thousands of Oklahomans gain access to health care. Keeping control of Sooner Care in the hands of Oklahomans who understand the needs of those they serve will help ensure that the program remains effective, efficient, and accountable. Of course, health care is expensive. It's important that we maintain a reasonable amount of cost within the field of health care. But cost is not why We serve our people. Cost is a factor. The health care that we deliver to the people of Oklahoma and the people themselves are more important than the cost. There has to be balance. So it's very important that we have someone who understands how health care should work. And I believe we have that in our candidate for governor, our number one candidate for governor, Joy Hofmeister. It's a pleasure for me to endorse Joy Hofmeister as governor for the state of Oklahoma. We have but 4 more weeks before the election. In fact, it could be shorter than that it's a little over 3 weeks when the voting begins, the early voting. And so it's very important that people decide who they will support. And I urge all people to examine very carefully who Joy Hofmeister really is. Joy cares about the people of Oklahoma. She cares about the future of Oklahoma. And she's not going to let that partisan divide keep us and keep her from working for the people of Oklahoma. So I urge all people to vote for Joy Hofmeister.
Well, halito and hello and greetings from the Choctaw Nation. It is an honor for me to be here as the chief of the Choctaw Nation, as a tribal member of the Choctaw Nation, and also as a father, as a husband, and as a grandfather, and yes, as a fellow Oklahoman. And the reason why I make those statements is because I think one thing that's really important is for me, and the reason why I support Joy Hofmeister is because when I see my family values of conservatism for the state of Oklahoma being carried out, she supports public schools, she supports health care, she supports education, she supports economic development. When I see that, that makes me want to support Joy Hofmeister. When I think from our communities, and she's wanting to keep our communities alive by our public schools through economic development. And when she believes that tribes are a sovereign nation and how we can all work together, though, I think the thing she epitomizes my values as a fellow conservative Oklahoma. And that's the reason why I support Joy Hofmeister. I think it's wonderful, all the things that she does in regards to, she wants to unite people. She does not look to divide us. She wants to make sure that in our conservative values here in the state of Oklahoma, that she wants to pull us together on the things that we can agree upon, not pull us apart by the things that we can disagree upon. We have had that, and we are sick and tired of it. That's the reason why we have voter fatigue today, is because we are so sick and tired of hearing of all of this divisiveness. We're ready to unite and put our arms together to improve this great state of Oklahoma. And I believe Joy Hofmeister is the best candidate for the state of Oklahoma, and that's the reason why I support Joy Hofmeister. Yako Ki. Thank you.
It's Jay. Good morning. On behalf of myself, Principal Chief David Hill, Mvskoke Nation, as well as Second Chief Dale Beaver, we are honored to be here, and thank you for the invitation, as well as our support for Joy Hofmeister. In previous conversation that we had, I know her heart is different. She is willing to sit down at the table and discuss any issues that we have with the tribe. One of the questions I did ask of her was, what's your goal in the next 60 or 90 days in office? One of the priorities that she mentioned was to sit down with all tribal nations. As it was mentioned before, the impact, $15 billion, of all the tribes, she understands tribal sovereignty. She understands education. economy, the health, everything that the tribe has come forth to help with the state of Oklahoma. And that's what we need. People who sit down at the table. She understands the table is round. It's not rectangular shape anymore, that she sits at the head of the table. The table is round, that she sits with other tribal leaders. And that's what we need. I previously attended the State of the State in Tulsa, August 18th. There was not one word mentioned about any tribal nations. But to understand what Joy is going to bring out, she will include all tribal nations as equal, as government to government, and that's what we're looking for. So we, as far as Mvskoke Creek Nation, myself and Second Chief Beaver, that totally support Joy and wish her the very best, that we are here to help as well. To grow, to prosper, to progress is working with the tribes and for the state of Oklahoma as well. Mano, thank you.
From the Executive Office of the Seminole Nation, from the Office of the Chief, I'm glad to be here to be able to announce that the Executive Office of the Seminole Nation truly does endorse Joy Hofmeister as the next governor of the state of Oklahoma. You know, you and I, we have values, each and every one of us, especially us that's from right here in Oklahoma. And I learned a long time ago that you do not put things above people. You don't put materialistic things above people. And I do believe that Joy Hofmeister will put the people of the state of Oklahoma above anything else that is there. And she has the experience, as many have already said, in education, which is key to each and every one of us who have children, who have grandchildren, who have nieces and nephews and cousins that attend the public school systems and the charter school systems, that we want to continue to see improvements in those particular areas, because the education of children is really truly the foundation for the future of the state of Oklahoma, and whatever area that it may be in. So I do support Joy Hofmeister for the candidate for governor. You don't have to go too far in the historical. When I first got here today, someone said this is a historic moment. And you know, there are historic moments in the history of Oklahoma. There is no doubt. And I think today can also be one with the 5 tribes that are gathered here, of the 5 tribes of the state of Oklahoma, 5 largest tribes. But there's great support from other tribes in this manner, in this way, for Joy Hofmeister, though they may not be here today. So from the Executive Office of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma through the Office of the Chief, we truly do endorse Joy Hofmeister as the next governor of the state of Oklahoma.
As you've heard from these men of the 5 largest tribes, Johnson, Chief Hill, Governor Anatobi, and Chief Hoskin, we know that where unity is, creativity thrives. And that's what this woman wants to see happen. The candidate for the governor of the state of Oklahoma, please welcome to the podium, Joy Hofmeister.
Well, good morning, friends. It was about 1 year ago that I entered the race for governor. Through it all, my reason for running has never changed. I believe by working together, we achieve more. I believe that by respecting one another, coming to the table, a round table, with an honest willingness to partner, we can move forward to find what is best for our state. And I believe that Oklahoma's future depends on mutually beneficial partnerships between sovereign tribal governments. The sovereign rights and self-determination of tribes in Oklahoma has led to tremendous contributions and investments that improve our state and local communities on a daily basis. The bond we have with the 39 tribal nations who call our state home is one of Oklahoma's greatest competitive advantages and what makes Oklahoma entirely unique. As governor, I will embrace that bond, not break it. No other state has benefited as much from the rich history, creativity, business success, and community investments of the tribes. I will keep our state's promises and find ways to build on each other's successes. I will respect the inherent sovereignty of the tribes and not waste precious tax dollars fighting unwinnable court battles. Let's stop fighting in court and instead fight for each other. From historic economic contributions, $15 billion annually to the economy, to iconic Native American culture that defines our state in the eyes of the world. Tribal nations represent the best of Oklahoma. As state superintendent, I led the way to ensure all students, all Oklahoma students, learned the history of tribal nations, about their sovereignty, and appreciated the unique cultures that shape our state. I am ready to continue that work and ensure respectful collaboration with tribes in Oklahoma as we partner together. Healthcare, infrastructure, housing, education, public safety, and job creation. Today, we are ready for a new vision and a unifying leader in Oklahoma. This is a defining moment in our state that will be judged for generations. My good friend, Chuck Hoskin Jr., Cherokee Nation Principal Chief, often says that Oklahoma has no better friend than its tribal nations. I believe that. I believe in meaningful consultation and dialogue where tribal governments are included. I believe in including Native people in key positions across state agencies, especially in rural Oklahoma. Tribal citizens are already spearheading some of the most successful efforts to help our communities survive and thrive. I value the perspective of our tribal neighbors and am eager to get about the business at hand, which is growing our great state together. That is why I am so eager to serve as your governor. We can bring our state back together again and deliver the kind of future that we all deserve and take pride in. For these reasons and so many other reasons, I proudly and humbly accept your endorsement today. Thank you so very much.
Thank you all so much for coming out this morning. Each of the tribal leaders will be stationed at a table in the room for you all to have personal conversations and questions with them. Thank you again for coming this morning. I think they're going to go each individual.
But if you guys will come get your mics and everyone stay on stage, we're going to take a few photos.
Yes,
We will.